The objective is specific: to bake a delicate sponge that, when breached, releases a steaming, vibrant green river of molten ganache. Most home attempts result in the exact opposite: a dry, dull brown cake that is completely solid from the edges to the center. This checklist defines the mandatory requirements for success. We need exactly 160 grams of butter, 240 grams of white chocolate, 18 grams of culinary matcha, 4 eggs, 50 grams of sugar, and 100 grams of flour. Achieving a bakery-quality result is a matter of adhering to the strict times and temperatures we are about to outline. Success depends entirely on the precise management of the chemical reaction between the green tea powder and the high-heat environment. The process begins by heavily coating the interior of the baking molds with butter, followed immediately by a light dusting of flour. This creates a physical barrier that ensures the cake releases cleanly. Without this layer, the fragile sponge will tear during the final unmolding phase. We then use a double boiler to combine the chopped white chocolate and cubed butter. We are using gentle, indirect steam because direct heat will burn these delicate fats. Under this indirect heat, the solids slowly break down and merge until the mixture becomes a smooth, glossy liquid. Proper mold preparation and gentle melting establish the structural and textural foundation required to house the liquid lava later. The most critical choice in this recipe is the use of culinary-grade matcha. Ceremonial grade is not suitable for this application. This plantation photo illustrates why. We need the unshaded, robust leaves exposed to the sun, seen on the right, because they develop the strength required to survive intense baking heat. Ceremonial matcha is shade-grown and delicate. High oven temperatures destroy its subtle flavors and turn the chowder a muddy, oxidized brown. Sift the culinary matcha directly into the melted fat mixture. This step is mandatory to eliminate dry, bitter clumps that would otherwise ruin the texture. Whisk in the eggs and sugar to bind the base, then gently fold in the sifted flour and salt with a spatula just until the dry powder disappears. Stop mixing the second the flour vanishes. Developing excess gluten will turn the delicate sponge into dense rubber. Utilizing the robust culinary grade and avoiding overmixing are the only ways to lock in the vibrant jade color and earthy umami flavor. Pour the thick batter into the prepared molds, leaving exactly 1 centimeter of space at the top to account for expansion. The bake requires an extreme thermal environment. Your oven must be preheated to 390 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. This cross-section shows the physics. Intense heat rapidly sets the outer wall, trapping the core before the center solidifies. This requires a strict 8 to 10 minute bake. The visual cue for doneness is a firm edge with a visibly jiggling center. Overbaking by even 60 seconds destroys the molten core. Mastering this precise extraction timing is the difference between a perfect lava cake and a standard muffin. The post-bake protocol is non-negotiable. The molds must rest outside the oven for exactly 1 minute. This 60-second rest allows the fragile sponge structure to firm up enough to survive gravity, but it is not long enough for the molten core to begin solidifying. To unmold, place a serving plate over the mold, smoothly invert the two, and apply a single firm tap to the base. If the mold was prepared correctly, a perfectly intact, dome-shaped green sponge will slide free of the ramekin. The reveal occurs the moment you slice the cake, allowing the steaming, umami-rich molten ganache to spill onto the plate. Adhering to these specific environmental controls, from the initial mold prep to the extraction timer, yields a reliable, molten culinary spectacle every time.